court. Next on AM 1480 WLEA, the Newsmaker Show. Here's Brian O'Neill.
And we have on our live line today Republican County Chairman for Steuben County, Joe Sempolinski. Joe Sempolinski, thank you for joining us.
How you doing, Brian? Always a pleasure.
Always good to speak with you, Joe. We wanted to go over the county races. Is it okay if we start with Canisteo? I'm going from the top of the Steuben County Election Board's website list of towns, and Canisteo is the first one in alphabetical order.
Well, that's fine with me. I live in Canisteo, so that works for me.
Did you? I didn't know that.
I did. I bought a home in Canisteo a few months ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Are you still? By the way, are you still working that job over at St. Bonaventure?
Actually, it's at Archbishop Walsh in Olean, the Catholic high school and director of development.
Okay, that's right. Well, congratulations there. Okay, I believe the big race over there that I see the most signs for is the highway superintendent's race in Canisteo between Wally Wade and Carlton Howland.
Yeah, I was just talking with Mr. Wade, our Republican nominee, just a few days ago, and discussing his last push getting out to vote, and he's been very energetic. As I said, I bought a home in Canisteo this spring, this early summer, and it wasn't but a few days, but Wally Wade was knocking on my door. He happened to talk to my father, as opposed to me, but was out aggressively campaigning. That's how he won the primary. He got out, he talked to the people in the village and town of Canisteo, and that's how he's going to win the general election. I've been very impressed with Wally and his how aggressively he's running his campaign in a positive way. And by aggressively, I mean he's getting out and talking to people about what's an important issue. I mean, at the town level, you want the roads to be paved, you want them to be plowed, you want it done in a safe and effective manner, and you want it done in a way that's not wasting taxpayer dollars. And that's what Wally's talking about, and I'm proud to support him in the general election. He's our Republican nominee. He was picked by the people in the Republican primary, and I've been very impressed with the campaign he's run. And like I said, we had a wonderful chat just a few days ago directly about the last few days of his campaign. I'm very confident that he's going to win on Election Day.
Okay, I also see in Canisteo no opposition for Steve Weed, the town supervisor. No opposition for the town clerk, Leanne Dickey. Let's see. There is opposition in one of the town board's races in the Canisteo Town Board, and that's between Anthony Stewart and James Dennis.
Yeah, a little quirky where there's a one seat that is a special election to fill some time, and then there's seats that are up. So you have 3 seats that are up because of that. And that's the only one the Democrats chose to put somebody up on. But I would encourage everybody that's Republican or independent or even like-minded Democrats to get out and vote just across the ticket for our town board. This is Canisteo is a pretty Republican town. I've in the few months I've lived there, I really come to enjoy it. I think putting a Republican team in there is going to serve everybody the best in the town of Canisteo.
Okay, next up, if we're doing it in alphabetical order from the county website, is let's do Fremont. Let's see, what do we got in Fremont? We've got a let's see. There seems there's some there's opposition in a town board race in Fremont. Carol Burns and Burton Candy. Am I reading that right, Joe?
Yeah, there's some independent candidates running. So we have our Republican candidates, which is Burns and Flansburgh. So there's 2 seats that are up. And then Flansburgh is also on an independent line. But then there is another candidate on a different independent line that's running. So the Democrats don't have any candidates that are on the Democrat line in Fremont, but there is an independent candidate for council. So you can vote for 2. It gets a little confusing when it's voting for multiple candidates, but obviously the easiest thing is voting across the Republican line. But you could also support Mr. Flansburgh, our Republican nominee, on his independent line. But that would be the only, other than the state judge race, I think that's the only opposed race in Fremont this year. The Democrats don't have a ticket.
Okay, talking with Republican County Chair Joe Sempolinski this morning. And let's do Hornell next. We've got, let's see, Melissa Ponicello is in the 1st Ward. She's a Democrat unopposed. 2nd Ward, Democrat Jeff Brown is unopposed. Hornell's 3rd Ward. We have a candidate there. We have 2 candidates there. There is opposition in the 3rd Ward. It's Republican Molly Liberto and Democrat John Allison. I believe they're going for the Joe McKay seat, with Joe McKay, the city councilman, not running again.
Yes, so Molly's a really good candidate, and we're really excited about her. I think she's running a great campaign. She's a lifelong Hornell resident. She's a teacher. She now teaches at BOCES, but in the past she's taught at the Hornell public schools for many, many years. And with these local races, it's the important thing is who's getting out and knocking on doors and talking to people. And from all the interactions I've had with the Hornell ticket, I've been very happy with their level of enthusiasm. They want to be out talking to people. They want to learn what the issues are in the wards. Molly certainly would qualify for that, as well as our other candidates. I think there's 3 contested races in the city council in Hornell, plus obviously we have the county legislative race. So we have a really strong ticket. I've been very impressed by our ticket in Hornell, and I would encourage everybody to really look into those candidates. I think you're going to find that the Republican candidates are the ones that are really getting out and want to listen to you and find out what your concerns are.
Okay, in the 4th Ward, we've got Democrat Rich Argentieri unopposed. Same in the 5th Ward. It's did I say Republican Rich Argentieri? It's Democrat Rich Argentieri. I don't know if I made that mistake. In the 5th Ward, Republican Dan Warner is unopposed. In the 6th Ward, we have Jessica Cleveland running unopposed. She's GOP as well, and is also the deputy mayor. In the 7th Ward, there's opposition there. The incumbent, Democrat Fred Lehman, has opposition from Republican Kevin Valentine. So let's hear what you think about that race and that ward, Joseph Belinsky.
Yeah, Kevin's impressed me as I've been around Hornell City. He's very enthusiastic, and sometimes you get people that are running for office for the first time, and they sort of want it to come to them. Where, okay, I'm on the ballot now, and we'll see how it goes. Kevin is one of these ones that's getting out there and has all the energy and wants to get out and talk to people, really focus on serving residents. He's a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, and again, a lifelong resident in Hornell. These are people that know the community, just like Molly's a lifelong resident. They know the community, they know the neighborhoods that they live in. Their friends and neighbors and family are here. So yeah, Kevin's got a ton of energy, and he's gonna. Once he gets elected, that energy is going to translate into constituent service for people on the city council. I'm very confident the folks in the 7th Ward, when they call their new alderman, he's going to be right on top of making sure that the issues that they're dealing with for city government get handled. I'm very excited about Kevin's candidacy.
Okay, we're talking with Joseph Belinsky, the Republican County Chair for Steuben County, going through the Hornell wards here. And Jim Bassage is unopposed in the 8th Ward. 9th Ward is a contested race. The incumbent is Republican Steve Schinnebarger, who's got opposition this time from Democrat Ron Naska. And your thoughts on the Schinnebarger-Naska race?
Yeah, Schinnebarger has been doing a great job. He's obviously the dentist, professional, has his business here in the city of Hornell, and is somebody that's doing a great job. The Democratic candidate is the son of the current city Democratic chair, so that may be part of why he's up and running. But Steve took over in the 9th Ward when Mayor Buckley was elected into the mayor's position. That he had been the 9th Ward councilman before. And has really done a great job. That's an important ward for us. That's an important neighborhood for us. And I would encourage folks to vote for Steve. The one little quirk with that race is the Democratic candidate has the last name Naska. One of our state Supreme Court judge candidates at the top of the ticket also has the last name Naska, So I would encourage you to vote for NASCA for Supreme Court, but maybe consider Schinnebarger if you're in the 9th ward in the city of Hornell. There's a little quirky thing where you have two folks who are unrelated running for two different offices that happen to have the same last name. So Kevin NASCA is our candidate for state Supreme Court, but I would endorse Schinnebarger for alderman in the 9th ward as opposed to the NASCA running there. So just
Okay, we're talking with Joe Sempolinski here on AM 1480 WLEA, the Newsmaker show. And Joseph, we're going through the list of candidates. Joe Sempolinski, Howard, and forgive me if I'm getting these names wrong. I'm looking at there's opposition, I believe, in the town clerk's race between Darcy, is it Knoll, and David Price? Do I have that correct?
Yes, yeah, and Price is again running as an independent candidate. The Democrats don't have, they didn't put anybody up in locally in the town of Howard, but you do have an independent candidate for clerk. On the city council race, we did have primary races there, but in the way it worked out is Rice and Hosmer are the two council candidates. They are also on the conservative line. But they are the only candidates for council. So the only contested race in Howard would be the town clerk's race, where you have Knoll versus an independent candidate.
Okay. And Joseph Sempolinski, now we're down to the Steuben County town of Jasper. What do we have that has opposition? Like a lot of our towns, the opposition is in the highway superintendent's race between Daniel Brewer and Scott Murphy.
Yeah, I have found in some of the smaller towns where it is sometimes difficult to recruit folks to run for town council or something like that. We usually don't have problems with candidates running for highway superintendent. Highway superintendent is usually one of the few elected positions in a very small town that is salaried in some way. Obviously, town council, town supervisor, if you're in a small town, is most definitely is not a full-time position. But highway superintendent, you're dealing with a pretty good budget. And oftentimes in a small town, it's maybe the largest chunk of the budget, and is the portion of the town government that has the most direct interaction with people. So in this case, in the town of Jasper, there was a cross endorsement. So the Republican candidate for highway superintendent was also supported by the Democrats. So the two major parties are both supporting Mr. Brewer. And again, then there's an independent candidate running. But I believe that's the only contested races. There are two candidates for assessor, one Democrat, one Republican, but you can vote for two, so they will both be elected.
Okay, we're talking with Steuben County Republican Chair Joe Sempolinski. What you just said is a very good point about how there's a lot of candidates in the running in the smaller towns for highway superintendent. That's also true in Woodhull, where you have James Martin and Roger Williams running against each other in Woodhull for the highway superintendent's race.
Yeah, and also just bear in mind, Woodhull, I believe there was a problem with some of the petitions people filed in Woodhull. So there are all the city council races, or not city council, town council races are write-ins in that town. So if you're in Woodhull, make sure that the candidate that you wish to put on the town council, you know their name, how to spell it, and how to do a write-in. I believe some of the local town candidates had some petitioning issues, if I recall correctly, in Woodhull. But highway superintendent, same thing, Republican candidate, no Democrat candidate in this case, but then an independent candidate running for highway superintendent.
Okay, going to take a quick break. Late on doing that. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the Supreme Court judges and the district attorneys race. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Newsmaker Show, where we're talking with Joe Sempolinski, Republican County Chair.
You're a smart, hard-working roofing contractor. But how do you get ahead? By saving time with the Beacon Pro Plus app. The Beacon Pro Plus app works 24/7 for material ordering, automated rebate tracking, and online bill pay, all saving you valuable time. And during select weeks this fall, receive special rewards by purchasing high-quality CertainTeed products through Pro Plus. You work hard. Now work smarter. Sign up for free at beaconproplus.com today.
Brought to you by Attorney Tax.
If you're in trouble with the IRS and owe at least $10,000 in back taxes, listen to this important public announcement. The IRS is now offering a special program called the Fresh Start Initiative, which can offer significantly reduced settlements that can reduce your liability by thousands of dollars. If you're approved and qualified, the IRS will stop the collections against you. Get the help you need by calling the Consumer Hotline, 800-333-9896, 800-333-9896.
Checking in now with meteorologist Rob Carroll, who says, enjoy the sun today because...
It's going away, Brian. We're going to see a broad easterly flow set up with high pressure moving into eastern Canada. That's going to bring moisture from the Atlantic, which right now is just east of the Finger Lakes area. It's going to push it back on in across central and western New York and turn things rather gloomy. And then later this week, towards Thursday and Friday, a strong cold front will sweep out of the Plain States and head our way with some showers and setting us up for a much, much cooler weekend and probably a much cooler start to the month of November. Looks like the first 2 weeks of November may be cooler than normal. Today, though, not a bad day at all. We should be partly sunny overall, temperatures near 60. Clouds, they're going to return tonight, lows dropping down to about 45. Lots of clouds, close to 60 tomorrow. Could see a couple of showers late tomorrow night, 45 to 50. Watch for showers Wednesday, 55 to 60. More showers Thursday, and it starts to cool off Friday and into the weekend. Sunrise this morning was at 7:38. Sunset tonight at 6:10. Brian?
Thank you, Rob. Back with Joe Sempolinski, the Republican county chairman for Steuben County, talking about races. Speaking of races, one big race we have not talked about yet is the county legislative race between the incumbent Democrat Randy Weaver and political newcomer Paul Van Castle, the Republican.
Yeah, this is a big race. This is the contested citywide race in Hornell. Obviously, the mayor's position is not up this year. So this would be the sort of top of the local ticket in the city of Hornell, and I've been very impressed with Paul. Paul has been an aggressive candidate. He's been getting out. He's been talking to the constituents, and he's going to be somebody that really is focused on providing good service at the county legislative level. Randy's been in there a long time. I know there's been some attendance issues with him attending the meetings in Bath. Now, you have one regular meeting a month, and Randy serves on one committee, so that's 2 meetings a month that he's got to make sure he gets to. And I know in some years it's been up to a quarter of some of the meetings that he hasn't been getting to. So this is a crucial importance that we have somebody that's going to take this job seriously, that's going to get to the meetings in Bath. The committee meetings are of particular importance because a lot of the background work, they're still open to the public. It's still an open process, but a lot of the background work happens in committee, depending on what committee Paul would end up serving on. This is where a lot of the decisions are made. So Paul is somebody that I know is going to provide great service. He's going to be accessible. He's going to be energetic. That's how he's been running his campaign, and I'm very confident that he's going to do a great job in the county legislature. This is, again, one of the top, it is the top of the ticket in the city of Hornell, but it's one of the top races county-wide is Paul's race for county legislature. I know that the mayor was in the paper endorsing him in the last couple of days. He certainly has the full support of the Republican committee and myself personally, and I would really strongly recommend to folks in Hornell of all parties to support Paul Van Castle for Steuben County Legislature.
Joe Sempolinski, the other races we didn't cover. Now, I'm looking at the Steuben County Board of Elections website ballot. Let's see, Republican Kevin Naska is on both the Republican and conservative line. He has opposition from Meredith Baca, a Democrat. And then there's also another Republican running, a Matthew Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum, I believe, is unopposed. So the two you'd be with would be Kevin Naska and Matthew Rosenbaum, I believe, as far as your endorsements go.
Well, just to clarify,
okay,
for
go ahead.
Supreme Court judge, it's a little different than it is for county judge. You may remember a county judge a couple of years ago, we had 2 separate slots. For Supreme Court judge, you vote for 2. So Mr. Rosenbaum is the incumbent, but he is not opposed. And so two of those three candidates will win, and it could be any two of the three. Obviously, I would prefer the two Republicans, but you could have a situation where the Democrat wins and either one of the Republicans win. So we know at least one of the Republicans is going to win, but we need to have both of them win. So you can vote for two, so I would encourage people to vote for Mr. Naska and for Judge Rosenbaum. They're both very qualified candidates. Judge Rosenbaum is an incumbent. He has been in that position for 14 years, very experienced. Mr. Naska is not a judge, but he is also very experienced, has been working in the courts system as a clerk, as a magistrate for many years. So this is a great slate of candidates that we have, but the important thing is you can vote for two. They both need your vote. I know how the ballot's printed. It looks a little funny because one of the columns is just Rosenbaum, but it is a vote for two, not two separate elections. It's two votes for the same office. Kind of like if you're voting for, if you live in a town, if you're voting for town council, usually you have two votes for the same position and you're electing two. Very similar for the state Supreme Court this year.
With that, we have to go. Joe Sempolinski, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, and I would encourage everyone to get out and vote on the 5th. These local elections are very important, and sometimes they come down to a single vote. We've seen that happen in Newsmaker County just in recent years. We've had ties and the elections cast one by one vote. So please get out and vote. These local elections really matter.
Thank you so much, Joe.
All right, thank you.